Stairs are one of the most popular forms that beginners are recommended to start with when they want to improve their game. But even so, stairs can be pretty challenging to get a grasp on. Even I have problems building stairs sometimes. So in this lesson, I'll be breaking down stairs into various elements. This is how I came to approach building out a stairs chain, so I hope this breakdown can help you understand the stairs as well. I'll also have a second example later in this lesson to outline some common problems that you might run into while practicing stairs. So, stairs consist of 3 different elements. You got the foundation, you have the column, and then you have the link on top of that. Each of these 3 elements is dependent on the element underneath it as well. The size of your link will be determined by the size of your column, and the color of your column will be determined by the color of your foundation. After that, once you're more comfortable with stairs, you can worry about a transitional point when you're literally ready to take the chain to the next level. But let's not worry about that right now. Let's go ahead and start with the foundation. The foundation is the most important part of a stairs chain. It determines the color of your column. It's pretty self-explanatory. You got the purple and the yellow here, right? You'll want more yellows and more purples to build on top of that. That's going to be your column. Once you have more foundations laid out, each piece you get will present you with one of 2 different primary choices. Do you want to use your Puyo to build up a column of an already established foundation? Or do you want to create a new foundation for another chain link? Sometimes, depending on the piece you get, you might be able to do both as well. Like that yellow and blue that dropped just recently right here. The yellow went towards this yellow foundation and column, while the blue established a new foundation for the next chain. Sometimes, RNG, as we all know, doesn't want to play nice, and we have to improvise. And sometimes you might just want to knock down an entire column. That's fine, because sometimes, like this purple column I didn't want, the pieces afterwards might lend you to a much better situation. Like, look how nice this chain is off now without the purple column, and I replaced it with the green. It looks so much cleaner now, right? So once you have a lot of your columns built up and established, we could start working on the links and the transition part of your chain. Don't feel too pressured to follow the stairs pattern exactly as you see it in the guides, actually. Sometimes RNG will force you to improvise, like right here. I have a 2-size Puyo column now for this yellow on the far right. All you have to do is just make sure you compensate for that in your link. So now the yellow on the link here will be 2 Puyo instead of 1. Just remember to compensate for it when you have to deal with improvisations like that. A neat thing about stairs is that the first and the second floor are very clearly defined. You can start doing different things on the second floor, both towards the front end and the tail end of your chain, once you get more comfortable with that. Just be careful that the Puyo you already have committed towards the bottom floor, the Puyo, especially the Puyo on your link, don't get mixed up with anything on the second floor. A Puyo that pulls double duty is not a good Puyo, because if that Puyo gets put towards the head, then that Puyo isn't going to exist towards the main part, the first floor of your chain anymore, and your chain will cut.
2, 3, 4.
So this is how this stairs chain
6,
resolves. It's a really nice 8, 9 chain.
Cobalt.
So let's go on ahead and jump on over to the next example. And I'll talk about the possible common problems that I've run into and you might run into as well. So let's go on ahead and talk about some common problems you can run into while building stairs. One problem is establishing all your foundations a little bit too early. It might sound like a good idea to declare the colors of your columns early on so you don't have to worry about it, but this actually limits your choices to continue building your chain safely. In this example, I did lay out all of my foundations early and declared my colors. But where can this yellow purple go now? I could put it in columns 2, 3, but that would skew the size of my stairs going from 3 bottom and 1 top into 2, 2. which is a little bit awkward, a little bit manageable, but in this particular chain, having the purple be already 3 tall makes this a little bit extra awkward. I could throw it on column 6 and erase the purple column here and replace it with the yellow foundation, but that could be a waste of a perfectly good purple column. Try to not lay out all of your foundations right away. Think of an open column without a foundation like a wild card. It can be any color you want until you put a color in it. You'll benefit better if you can keep these wild cards open as long as you can until you can see a perfect opportunity to fill it in. So, in this example, I used the purple yellow here to actually build up on the purple column, and I'll be using the yellow to establish the foundation for the transitional point. The transition could also be treated like a stair if you build it like that. Another great thing about stairs, at least when it's the ideal 3 bottom and 1 on top version, which we call the 3-1 stairs, is that the link doesn't have to be placed immediately on top of the column, on row 4 specifically. In reality, if you have 3-1 stairs, the link can be placed anywhere in rows 4, 5, or 6. So, you don't have to necessarily stress out over putting Puyo on row 4. Like, this green is good. This purple, of course the purple doesn't match with the yellow, but this yellow coming down right now, this yellow will link because of the nature of 3-1 stairs. The purple will be wasted, yes, but sometimes a sacrifice is necessary. You know how RNG goes. If your stairs wind up becoming 2-2 instead of 3-1, then the link dynamic changes just a little bit. You can still make it work. There's still a little bit of flexibility involved, but it's a little bit more rigid, so keep that in mind. When we place this red down, this red will also work. Even though it's separated by this green, the red will link down as well, as we'll see when this chain resolves. Just don't mind the fact that I forgot to put the purple up here for the chain to complete the chain. I got a little bit too excited. But look, we'll have the chain set off right now. As you can see, the yellows over here is still linked up even though it was propped up by this purple. Having tall chain links like this give you a little bit more surface area, let's call it, to allow for more access from more rows to give access to the yellow chain link, the yellow column over here. Same with the reds. And then the purples resolve like traditional stairs. So, even though, as you saw, the purple and green separated the yellows and the reds, it still came down and managed to meet with the yellow and the red columns because the columns were so tall. It was able to reach out for the links, even though they were a little bit higher than the ideal stairs form. And that's my breakdown on stairs. I hope this helps you understand stairs more and make it easier for you to master this chain form. If you got any questions, go ahead and raise your hand in the comments below. If you like these lessons, I would really appreciate it if you can do the YouTube things to help support this channel and so you know when the next lesson is out. So, until the next lesson, I hope you keep practicing Puyo and improving your stairs, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching, and take care. And the color of your column is determined by the color of your foundation. There's also stairs can be challenging to get a grasp on. Even I have building problems with buildings sometimes. So let's start with the foundation. The foundation is crucially important. Just as important as making sure you have your controller in your hand so you can start the replay. It might sound like a good idea to declare the colors of your columns early on so you don't have to worry about it, but this actually limits the choices you have to continue building your chairs? Your chairs? There's no chairs in Puyo. What am I talking about?